Hi, welcome to my eclectic channel. My name is Agnès and I make videos for fun. Another thing I like to do for fun is sewing. The two come together on this channel. Today I wanted to talk about what the creative process looks like for me. This reflection was prompted by this video here or here. I'm also linking the video below in the description. I took this genuine video almost as a cry for help. The creator talks about the huge amount of money she spent on fabric to make clothing that she ends up not wearing. A number of people commented under her video that the money was not truly wasted because she had acquired the experience and the skills. And that's true and important. However, I think there's a less expensive and mentally exhausting way to go about one's sewing journey. One reason she sews a lot of items she ends up not wearing is that she has acquired a large collection of patterns and she feels the pressure to make every one of them because otherwise it feels like a waste of money. I also have a large collection of patterns, free patterns that I keep on my computer drive. I think of it as a library and use it as such. It is extensive enough that whenever I have an upcycling project or a particular piece of fabric that inspires me to make a particular item, I can go into that library and find a pattern or a set of patterns that allow me to accomplish my vision. For instance, I recently finished a shirt dress that I made from a men's triple XL cotton shirt. I looked for inspiration on Pinterest and then I went to my library of patterns to find one that would allow me to recreate the look that I was going for. I used a basic fitted shirt pattern and I would also have used an A-line shift dress if I had not had my dress form. My creation process involves three banks: my free library of patterns, my fabric slash thrifted clothing stash, and Pinterest boards. My starting point is typically, I love this fabric, what can I make with it? Or I love this spring trend, can I create my own? And I get good wear out of what I make. Speaking of which, let's look at some of my projects. In this video, I'm going to focus on what I have sewed. Before I started sewing, I used to knit. That's another video. I'm going to be featuring projects that I have posted on these channels. I have sewed along for most of these. The first thing I sewed from scratch when I first got my sewing machine was a magic wrap skirt. I saw these at a market in Hilo, Hawaii, and I really liked them, but I found them overpriced and it looked like I could make my own. So I came home, I drafted a pattern, got some fabric, and went for it. I like to take this one with me when I travel in the summer because it's versatile. A casual dress I like to wear at home in the summertime is this one. The inspiration for this one was a picture in a 1940s magazine. It was a model for what they called a play suit. I used an old bed sheet and drafted the pattern myself. It is of simple construction. The next dress is another one that I drafted myself. It was inspired by the walkaway dress. The previous projects were all warm up for the following dress. This was the first dress I made from a commercial pattern. A pattern that I looked at longingly for months while I was building up my sewing skills. And I don't regret that I waited that long because it turned out really nice. I often wear it in the late spring and in the summer. I made a poofy petticoat to go underneath, and sometimes I'll wear it with it, and sometimes I wear it without it. I often make garments from thrifted clothing. So technically that's called upcycling. There's a whole range there. You can take an item of thrifted clothing and just do minor alterations just for fit. And then you can go all the way up to just completely changing the initial garment. So this dress is an example. it was a maxi skirt. And I picked it out specifically because I like the fabric. It's linen. I like the print. And being an oversized maxi skirt, I just had a lot of fabric to work with. Going the route of upcycling thrifted clothing is a really good way to improve your sewing skills without breaking the piggy bank. I like wrap dresses, so I made another one. And this one has frills. For a while, and even today, I was really into the frilly skirts. I don't know that I'll ever grow tired of these. So I looked for a pattern in my library that featured one. Another dress that I like to wear in the spring and summer. With this white vest, I fell victim to a trend. Not really a victim, because I do wear this vest a lot. I like it, especially as a summer top. And the trend ended up being a long-term trend, like I thought it would. I mean, this is a classic piece. The creative process here was my classic. I liked the trend. I went on Pinterest for inspiration, found fabric in my stash, and then looked for a free pattern in my library that I modified. Another trend I liked a couple summers ago were dresses with frills and a bareback, the frills again. So same story, I went on Pinterest and I think even I went shopping for this one. Like I went shopping online. I looked for dresses that I wanted to wear. And then I went to look for a free pattern that reproduced those dresses. And I think it was last year or year before that, that jean skirts came back. Well, they never go away. But they came back with a particular style that I liked. They were the longer jean skirts. So I followed some tutorials on YouTube, and then I stole a jean from my husband, and I made a skirt. I'm going to finish here with a couple sneak peeks. I have not posted those sew-alongs yet as of the filming of this video. My latest project is this shirt dress that I made out of a triple XL men's shirt. The inspiration there was a series of YouTube videos that I watched on transforming men's shirt, and for some reason I really got into that. So this is not my only project of this sort. And also shirt dresses have been on trend for a couple summers now. And I had some in my childhood. I liked them. So I decided to make one. And then the last one is one that I call my Bavarian dress. I made this one out of a summer top and a yard of fabric that I had left over. It's a nice light summer dress that I really like to wear. Both projects will be posted in my upcycling playlist. To summarize, I think that the key to wearing what you make is to decide what you want to wear and then make it, not the other way around. Another important aspect is to know what fits you well. I took up sewing seriously as a hobby in my later years. Like I sound like I'm really old. No, I was a mature adult. So I had already developed my personal style and I knew what looked flattering on me. When I like a trend or when I like a pattern, I modify it to fit my body type and to fit my taste. There are multiple examples in the projects that I featured. For instance, the jean skirt trend is for midi length skirts that fall almost to the ankle. I'm petite, and that is not doable. I know it doesn't work on my body. So I made mine to be just below the knee. So I'm not quite following the trend, but no one knows. It fits really well, and that's what makes it timeless. Another example is the Betty dress. It's a retro 1950s style. So the original pattern calls for a longer skirt, and I can't do a poofy midi length. So again, I cut mine to be just below the knee. If you tend not to wear what you buy, sewing is not the solution. you will not wear what you make either. So first, you do need to figure out what you like to wear. And the best way to experiment is really thrift shopping, not making your own clothes. Because if it's a miss, it is such a money and time investment that it will be very disappointing. Lifestyle is another consideration. Coming back to the original video, the creator reports that one reason she's not wearing what she makes is because she works mostly from home and therefore has no occasion to get dressed to go out. So for me personally, that is not a factor. I get dressed regardless. But if you spend most of your life in loungewear, then you have to give some thought to your sewing. What your sewing journey might look like would be more along the lines of going on a quest for the perfect t-shirt pattern or the sweatpants or shorts and then play with fun prints. I have made summer pajama sets, and I have a bathrobe that I wear through spring and fall. So for me, maybe what that would look like would be to make some comfortable house dresses, nightgowns, and aprons. Ideas. All right, that's all I have for today. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.